And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Satellite imagery for today, showing a lot of clouds here. Next system pushing rather rapidly into the western Bering Sea here. The front trailing back toward the western Aleutians, some warm front clouds swinging into the central Aleutians, even some mid and high level stuff over toward the Fox Islands there. Higher pressure, drier conditions, light winds here along the coast, eastern Bering Sea, St. Lawrence Island, and the Seward Peninsula. Nome seeing some pretty good sunshine today. A lot of clouds over the interior here with showers scattered from the Arctic coast all the way down to the North Gulf Coast, and a weakening system here pushing into the Panhandle with light rain in the northern areas and real light rain down to the south, just a few hundredths of an inch in some areas down there. Otherwise, maybe a quarter of an inch to the north. Places like Hoonah had a quarter of an inch today. Most everywhere else was a little bit less. And low pressure here in the Gulf of Alaska kept a lot of showers going here for the North Gulf Coast, Yakutat westward, with about half an inch of rain falling at both Seward and Yakutat today, and about the same for Cordova. And scattered showers with some clearing. Cook Inlet and looks like up into maybe the Manuska Valley, with clouds farther to the north, but sunshine here, or at least dry conditions over the west coast areas. And on the chart, here's that weakening front bringing the clouds and rain into the Panhandle and back along the North Gulf Coast here with the low center south of the Kenai Peninsula. Scattered showers and a lot of clouds over much of the central and eastern part of the state, right up to the Arctic coast, with nothing on the heavy side at all. And then showers tapering off here, ending out over the eastern Bering Sea as that high pressure area ridges northward here, bringing some sunshine there, as I mentioned, to the Seward Peninsula and possibly the Yukon Delta. That high ahead of this next system pushing eastward here, and tonight will continue to push eastward. High pressure slips eastward here, at least the ridge does, into the western part of the state, starts to weaken a little bit there. And rain moving into the Pribilof Islands after midnight, rain moving into Nikolsky after midnight, and kind of a wet night here for the central Aleutians back to the west. Still mostly cloudy, scattered showers here over the eastern and southeast part of the state. Also Kobuk, northern Koyukuk Valley to the Brooks Range, some shower activity there. Otherwise, stays cloudy and showery here for the Panhandle with this trough moving in. Low pressure weakening in the Gulf of Alaska continues to weaken tomorrow, with still a chance of some showers, but also some partial clearing possible for the Panhandle. And starting to see it dry out on the North Gulf Coast. Mostly afternoon showers developing over the mountainous terrain of the Copper River Basin along the Alaska Range here. And otherwise partly sunny Kodiak Island with some partly sunny skies, especially late morning, early afternoon for south central Alaska and the Copper River Basin. Dry with some sunshine, central interior, up to the north slope, maybe even the Arctic coast, as showers shift eastward toward the border up there with that weakening low near Old Crow. And this front weakens as it pushes eastward here, but holds together enough for small craft advisory level winds here from the southwest coast all the way up into the Chukchi Sea, with light rain pushing inland here along with fog and low clouds, fog and drizzle, especially the eastern Aleutians, the Alaska Peninsula, with that pattern extending westward there along the Aleutians to the next system that moves quite rapidly eastward here. This front breaks up as it moves inland, bringing cloudy skies with an area of rain and showers with it. But again, all on the light side. Wind's not much of a factor. Lighter winds now for the Chukchi Sea and northern Bering Sea. And rain, fog, and drizzle. Quite a widespread area there from Nikolsky to Unalaska, Dutch Harbor, right up into Bristol Bay, the Alaska Peninsula area. And still a chance of some shower activity around Denali Park there in the western Alaska Range. And isolated showers over the mid and upper Tanana Valley area all the way up into the Yukon Flats. And a weak trough brings a chance of showers mainly to the southern southeast coast, with a dry day and maybe some sunshine here for the North Gulf Coast, possibly Prince William Sound into the Copper River Basin. Lows tonight in the 50s or upper 40s for the Panhandle, otherwise upper 30s and 40s over interior Alaska here. Low near 50 for Fairbanks, and 30s for the Arctic coast, North Slope down into the Seward Peninsula there, and 40s for the 40s for the Bering Sea, lower 50s for Adak and Atka. And then the highs tomorrow, In the lower 60s for Adak, not too bad there. Lower 50s for the Pribilofs and upper 50s for the Alaska Peninsula here to near 60 in Bristol Bay. Otherwise 50s and lower 60s here in the interior areas. Warmest on the from the central Kuskokwim Valley up to the Yukon Flats there, Tanana Valley. Highs in the upper 50s, lower 60s for the Panhandle. Cooler 40s for the North Slope and the Arctic coast into the Brooks Range. Lows the next morning. Upper 40s to lower 50s for the Aleutians, mid 40s in the Bering Sea here to lower 40s around St. Lawrence Island. 30s for the North Slope and Arctic coast. 40s for the most part, some areas falling into the 30s over the interior, and mostly in the upper 40s to lower 50s, south central Alaska, Copper River Basin, mid 30s there, and about the same, upper 40s, lower 50s for the Panhandle. Highs for Sunday, mid 50s to lower 60s for the southeast coast, and mostly in the 50s here across much of interior Alaska. Still could reach 60 over toward Eagle, maybe 62 at Northway and Tok. Otherwise in the 50s, cooling into the 40s out over the northern Bering Sea. Otherwise 50s for the Aleutians and Alaska Peninsula. Not too bad for the Brooks Range, upper 40s and upper 40s to mid 50s for the North Slope and the Arctic coast.